This is the No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon. What's up, y'all? Welcome back once again to the podcast episode 65, No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon. And what is on the menu for today? Well, I don't know. Maybe I should charge for the podcast, but put you on a buy now, pay later plan. And then I, pay it in 4 installments, and then I'll get my money eventually. Or maybe I won't at all. But this is podcast episode 65, No Strings Podcast, brought to you by Spotify for creators. Before I start the content, this is being recorded on Father's Day weekend 2025. I want to shout out to all of the strong brothers, the strong fathers, father figures, not only in my life, but the fathers that I know. Hope you have a great and prosperous Father's Day this year. Also, this is Mental Health Month. I definitely encourage our men to continue to exercise and seek out ways to increase your mental health, because it's ever so important. We like to live in this society where we're all bottled up. It's okay to let your emotions out here or there in an appropriate fashion and in a positive way. So with that being said, happy Mental Health Month. Happy Father's Day. And I'm not a direct advocate for the community, but this month is Pride Month. You love whoever you love. You celebrate what you celebrate, as long as it's in a peaceful manner. There are, granted, some devils out here that try to steal your joy. So, episode 65, titled Buy Now, Pay Never, /forever, /whatever. Because that was the hot topic over the past 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, recently in May. And this will focus mainly on the buy now, pay later company Klarna, but I'll name drop a few others in a second. But I had to dip my toes in to get my opinion on it, right? Because with Klarna reporting profit losses due to no one committing to their payment plans, I thought it's my turn to opine and talk about delayed gratification. Talk about financing your life, putting your life on layaway. Let me start with an article from payments.com, pymnts.com. Klarna marks 100 million customers as losses nearly double. Buy now, pay later giant Klarna says it now has 100 million active customers. The Swedish fintech revealed that milestone Monday, May 19th, as it releases quarterly earnings, which show revenues up 15%, reaching 701 million. Klarna also logged a $92 million pre-tax loss for the first quarter, up from $47 million a year ago. In its earnings report, the company cited issues such as share-based payments, expense, quote-unquote, severance-related restructuring costs, and expenses connected to its initial public offering, or IPO, which is now on hold. Klarna co-founder and CEO Sebastian Siemiatowski said in a news release that the quarter had also seen the company secure partnerships with the likes of Walmart and DoorDash, while bringing its collaboration with eBay, already launched in Europe, to the U.S. Quote unquote, from the CEO, co-founder, our AI-first strategy is driving exceptional returns. We're outpacing competitors. Our merchant network is scaling rapidly, and our next-gen products are reshaping money management for millions, Siemiatowski said. Since 2022, the company added Klarna has cut its workforce by 40% thanks to its artificial intelligence, AI deployment, while increasing its share of tech employees from 36% in 2022 to 52% in the first quarter of this year. That's all I'll read for this article. And so what do I see from this article? What do I extract from this article? For one, with 100 million active customers, that means that there's 100 million people. I'm assuming in the U.S. or possibly in North America. That may include Mexico, Canada, as well as America. But there's 100 million. Probably some of you have interacted with Klarna at one point or currently on a payment plan with Klarna that are on buy now, pay later. Out of that 100 million active, I wonder what's the percent or what's the exact number, whether it's a third, half, or 75% of persons who have skipped a payment, delayed a payment, are refusing to pay. Now, Klarna is buy now, pay later. And there's a few other companies that you may have heard of or that you may have seen whenever you've gone to the bottom of a page, and when you get to the payment part, pay with zero down, paying 4 monthly installments, and you see the little logos. I'm talking about Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle. PayPal has pay in 4 and pay monthly. Zipco is one. Split It is another one. I believe Apple has dipped into the buy now, pay later service. I don't know if that's still active or not. There's one called Tamara, which is a Saudi Arabian fintech company that allows customers to buy products and pay for them in installments without hidden fees. And quite a few more. Now, buy now, pay later, this isn't necessarily new. Let me get all my data from Google, by the way. You'd almost take it as like a rent-a-center, right? If you all remember what a rent-a-center is. But a rent-to-own company that allows customers to lease furniture, appliances, electronics, and other household items with flexible payment options. Rent-a-center is like a physical place. I think there's definitely a bunch more rent-a-centers. I can't remember if the one in D.C. that I'm thinking about is still in D.C., but rent-a-center is still active. In essence, buy now, pay later is, I would say, a more glorified term of layaway, right? Remember when you were young and your parents would put stuff on layaway, go to Sears or whatever, maybe Macy's, and you're putting this stuff on layaway, go to Rent-A-Center, put everything on layaway? Again, layaway is a payment method where a customer reserves an item by making a down payment and paying the remaining balance in installments, typically interest-free, before receiving them. It allows customers to purchase items without using credit cards or accruing debt. Now, layaway and debt, paying installments, they're different. They're similar. Putting something on layaway versus putting something on a credit card, there's some stark differences. Because if you forget to pay your balance on a credit card, you'll be subject to a late fee. You'll be subject to that interest. Usually interest rates for credit cards go from anywhere between 20 to at highest with maybe 35%. And there's significant consequences when you miss a payment for a credit card. With Klarna, they kind of hold your hand a little bit. But before I get into literally right from their website as to what happens if I can't pay on time, let's look at another page on their site where you can pay with Klarna at your favorite brands. So these 100 million consumers, these are the places where they're shopping from and where Klarna has affiliated itself with. I mentioned DoorDash earlier. I mentioned Walmart. So you can finance your purchases on Walmart, your $150 Walmart purchase. You can finance your DoorDash meal, your Levain bakery, your whatever's famous on DoorDash, right? Get your little barbecue, get your Magnolia Bakery, whatever, on Klarna, and you're paying in installments, which is crazy. But who else? According to their site, they have over 1,000 stores. And I'm not going to go through the list, but I'm just going to go and just read some of them. Pay for your Michael Kors with Klarna. Get your Instacart, your groceries. Putting your groceries on layaway. Putting your groceries on buy now, pay later. Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, Expedia, Apple from Klarna, Nike, Target, Macy's, eBay, Hotels.com, Airbnb, Home Depot, Coach Outlet, Sam's Club, Booking.com, Foot Locker, Fashion Nova, Ticketmaster, StockX, DoorDash, Wayfair, Dick's Sporting Goods, Ulta Beauty, Sephora, Priceline, Adidas, New Balance, Lowe's, T-Mobile, Coach, Bath & Body Works, Victoria's Secret, Finish Line, Tory Burch, Costco, JD Sports, Uber, Shop App, Hibbett, Uber Eats, PlayStation, Nordstrom, Southwest Airlines. Just through Klarna. And we know some of these companies already have their own branded credit cards. PlayStation, Amazon, Target Red Card, Best Buy, Walmart Card. Why get them? Just do Klarna. Pay for your stuff in installments. And I'm interested to see if anybody's listening to this, if anybody has done these buy now, pay laters. Any of them. I may try to ask some of my friends just out of curiosity what their experiences are with them. Because I ain't do it. I just got a credit card and I swipe and I just try to pay them down my balance that way. But you're getting your fancy bags, your groceries, your tech, your anything from Amazon, getting your essentials from Walmart, getting your travel together on Klarna. It's the summer, trying to get your travel together, getting your airline tickets from Amazon, from Southwest Airlines, getting your shoes from Nike, getting your shoes from JD Sports, getting your athlete shirt from Nike or Adidas, getting your whatever you bid on from eBay, booking your travel. If you want to stay at a hotel, put the hotel on Klarna. If you want to save a little bit of money and want to take a more homey route and you're comfortable with Airbnb, put on Klarna. Working on that new bathroom, working on that backsplash for your tile, Home Depot. Haven't had a fancy bag in a while, Coach Outlet. Need a new set of bra panties to show off for your OnlyFans, or to show off for your man, or to show off for your woman if you're lesbian. Fashion Nova. Men shop at Fashion Nova too. Men, Fashion Nova. Right? Ticketmaster. And they already charge a high service fee. Why not put it on a payment method? Because the tickets already high, plus the service fees. We already know about Ticketmaster. And we're in DC, Put the tickets to Kendrick Lamar's SZA, June 18th, the day before Juneteenth. Put that on Klarna. Ain't Chris Brown coming around here sometime as well? At the baseball stadium time this year, right? It's the summertime. You gotta be outside, right? Put the purchase on Klarna. Forget the credit card. Or forget paying straight cash with a debit card. Beyonce gonna be down at Northwest Stadium July 4th and it was July 7th, right? Put the tickets on Klarna. We sitting 5 rows from the front. Put the tickets on Klarna. 4 installments. Wayfair, I get my furniture. Ladies, Sephora or Ulta Beauty. Pick your pick. Right? New Balance. You a fan of Lowe's over Home Depot? Get your stuff from Lowe's. Costco, Sam's Club. Bulk warehouse stores. You come out there, you're spending $200, $150, $200, $300, $400. Split that into 4 payments. $400 bill. Oh, I can only pay $100 at a time instead of $400 up front. Now, I mentioned earlier that Klarna is reporting losses. And I ain't taking no breaks because I'm almost done. We running straight through this. Buy now, pay never, forever, whatever, right? Podcast episode 65. From KTVB7 article, more Klarna customers are defaulting on their buy now, pay later loans. Buy now, pay later plans through companies like Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna generally let consumers split payments into purchases for installments. More Klarna customers are having trouble paying their buy now, pay later loans the short-term lender said this week. The disclosure corresponded with reports by lending platforms Bankrate and LendingTree, was cited an increasing share of all buy now, pay later users say that they've been falling behind on payments. Delayed or missed installments are a sign of faltering financial health among a segment of the U.S. population, some analysts say, as the nation's total consumer debt rises to a record $18.2 trillion. And the Trump administration moves on to collect federal student loans. Shoppers who opt to finance purchases through BNPL services tend to be younger than the average consumer, and a study from the Federal Reserve last year said Black and Hispanic women were especially likely to use the plans, which customers of all income levels are adopting. It's sad. This ain't good to my African American sisters, my Latina sisters, but we know it's a whole overarching thing. And this debt, this defaulted payment, is adding to the outstanding debt, which is already student loans, mortgages, credit cards. And now you have buy now, pay later. And people are falling behind on payments. It's the same thing as using a credit card. When you rack up the bill and you can't pay the balance, you're falling behind on payments. It's the same difference. There's different levels of catastrophe. And to that, it just tells me that we want it now. Some people don't care. They're starting to garnish wages on student loans. Some people just don't care. They want these things now. They need these things now. And now it's just a caveat, a sidebar, an alternative form of debt. And there's more of a list of bad debt, of liabilities versus assets. Now, granted, there's a few things of good debt, but there's more bad debt. Will I ever use Klarna, Afterpay, Sezzle? Hell no. For what? I already fell on the sword a long time ago with credit cards, trying not to fall back into that hole. I got a few things going on this summer in the credit card. Right now, it's just a hard balance because I'm trying to do a bunch of different things. I know exactly what my next episode is, liberation, but I need to slowly liberate myself. I'm not in a crazy hole, but again, it's like a lot of things are just coming up. I know all at the same time within a 3 or 4 month time frame, man. And I don't know. Anyway, Klarna, back to their site. On their section, what happens if I can't pay on time? This is from Klarna. If we are unable to collect the payment on the scheduled date, we will try again. If that payment attempt also fails, the missed payment will be added to the amount of the next scheduled payment. Late fees may also apply. Please check the terms and conditions of your order for details. Need a few extra days? You can extend your next payment date once per order. Go to payments, select the order, whatever. Late fees, what to expect. Late fees may apply if your payment isn't collected after multiple attempts. Paying 30 days. Well, paying for is late fee up to $7 may be charged per missed payment. No late fees currently apply, but please check the individual terms. Pay over time. Late fees and interest may apply as outlined in your credit agreement. A good to know is if you miss a payment, any outstanding balance may be sent to collections and you could be restricted from using Klarna in the future. If you are struggling to make a payment or experiencing unexpected financial hardship, contact us. We are here to help. So if I do a Costco $400 purchase and I put it on Klarna, that's 4 payments of $100. I miss one, I get charged a late fee up to $7. And they may tack on that payment onto the next one. So instead of paying $100 straight up and then preparing for the next payment, the next time it's due, what are you paying? $200 plus the $7 fee? So that's $207. Sounds like interest to me. A smaller hit versus a credit card, but it sounds like interest to me. Again, similar but different. Buy now, pay later, credit cards. And if you miss a payment, the balance may be sent to collections. What happens if you miss a payment with your student loans? What happens if you miss a payment with your mortgage? What happens if you miss a payment with if you don't pay your rent? What happens if you miss a payment with your credit cards? This stuff gets reported to the bureaus as well. This stuff gets reported to collections. This Klarna thing is less of a cut. Because with them, they're a little more generous. They're similar to student loans where you can do financial aid with Klarna. Can you do financial aid with a credit card? Of course not. But if you're struggling, we are here to help. That's why with some of the basics, I think I've heard it from Jaspreet Singh. I've heard it from Ramit Sethi. Don't buy something you can't afford to purchase 5 times over. Start paying with cash. Because a lot of people, we can't control ourselves. I'm a victim of that. I talked about addiction a few episodes ago, back when was it, in November, whenever I did it. And it's right now, it's a slippery slope. I'm a byproduct of it. Because then on Klarna, if you're Klarna at all these different shops and all these different places, you got to pay this person and that person and X, Y, and Z to commit to a payment. I don't know if Klarna like lump sums everything together, or if it's like at each merchant you have to commit to a payment. I'm assuming at each merchant or each time you make a certain purchase, it's like it's that installment, and then you have another one, and then you have another one. I don't know. I'll ask around. Well, I mean, if you guys know already, you guys already know. I'll Google it after this, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts. Had to get it out there, right? Because when you're living a no strings lifestyle, right? So you cutting strings, cut the whole string. And typically when you cut a string, right, let's say like a knot or something, typically when you cut it, you snap it and it kind of severs or whatever. But, buy now, pay later, you're taking like a little razor blade and you're nicking at the rope a little bit, nicking at the rope. I mean, this is crazy, y'all. If you want to buy now, pay later right now, stop it, give it up, complete the payments, see if you can, instead of being forced to be landlocked and paying in installments, just pay the whole thing, get it over with, and stop using these programs. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because Klarna, these programs are going to go out of business. Like one or two of these programs are going to go out of business. We'll see what Klarna is in the next 5 years, but us financing our life and these experiences. I can speak on it because I've been there. My slope, I'm all right now. I keep referencing myself, but I have to like make it known. This stuff this is real life, and it has to be known and it has to be said. These companies, Sezzle, Afterpay, all this stuff. Finance a MacBook, or you get the Apple Card and you pay for this laptop here. I hadn't had this MacBook since like 2015. I remember I opened the Best Buy credit card and just for this to get a MacBook. And what I did I really need it for like back then? I didn't really need way back then. I didn't really need it. Just wanted it just because. But again, I spin it back around. I say like we got to stop with this Klarna and this Afterpay. We got to stop serving these and getting on our knees, lying on our backs, falling down, bowing to these different masters. And that's going to segue into my next episode. But we've got to. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of people. I'm not even going to pull up some TikTok clips, but it's people just defiant and will not pay back their installment. Some people may have forgotten that it was paying for, and they may have paid the first installment right then and there and forgot. This is stuff you got to keep up with, along with subscriptions, because a lot of us forget about a subscription and then we get charged something. I'm about to cancel my Disney Plus. I got like 3 months free for like $4 or something. I done already watched my Daredevil Born Again. I ain't touched Disney Plus in about 3-4 weeks. This has to stop. And all I can do is just speak about it, try to be a voice for the voiceless, let you be aware of a lot of these different programs. Be Kind Rewind. Again, I broke down a lot of companies, and this is literally on their website, that Klarna is financing a lot of companies that you shop from. A lot of us may not shop from Target anymore, but you find an alternative. You may find what you need at Target. on Amazon or Walmart or wherever you're going to go. And then you may still Klarna it. And again, credit cards are a different thing. I mean, I use credit card. I'm on a little credit card thing right now, right? But, it's hard. I'm stable, But I always, every time I try to get behind this microphone and try to reinforce myself to try and give focus for myself, but also try and give hope for y'all. But in closing, leave these things alone. Leave these programs alone. You see people are not paying them off. Not committing to the payments on time. And in the end of it all, what is it all for? So, all right, y'all. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Getting on in here. Getting the contact in. Whatever content. Getting the content in. Whatever just spurs out of my brain and my mind, man. So, episode 65 is in the books. Thanks for listening to the No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon. I will catch you very soon. I got another one to put into the can, but yeah, leave that stuff alone. Leave that buy now, pay later stuff forever. Because for you, it's going to turn into buy now, pay never, or forever, or whatever, or whenever. All right, y'all. Peace. Thank you for listening to the No Strings Podcast with Rel Simon.